Sabbath was in a different place at that point when these records first came out and all that. Tell us a little bit about the response they initially had. I mean, how were you feeling about where Sabbath was, and what was the press like? What were the fan reactions like when Headless Cross, for instance, first came out? Do you remember that?
When Headless Cross came out, it was, I mean, it took off pretty good, certainly in Europe, didn't it?
Yeah.
It really done well in Europe because they got behind it. And when in England, of course, we had IRS, which didn't quite, and in America certainly didn't get behind it.
No.
So it was a sad really that it wasn't promoted like it could have been. A lot of people didn't even know we got an album out.
Right.
Except in Germany where they really did promote it and it done good there in Europe. So it was a bit of a shame really. But of course now is the time.
Indeed. Well, I mean, obviously the way that a lot of people have discovered the reissues are taking place is through the Headless Cross video, which just got released over the weekend, of course, and all that. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the shooting of that video? I understood it was from Battle Abbey. Do you remember?
Yeah, in Hastings, wasn't it?
I remember it.
Freezing cold.
It was so cold. And like, I remember Cozy, we were trying to keep warm, and he was drinking brandy, trying to keep warm because it was freezing cold, and of course holding his sticks.
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, he's pissed because he'd had that many shots of brandy trying to keep warm.
Yeah, he'd got a bottle down by his high hat.
Yeah.
Kept sweet.
But
Ernest, this is not funny.
All moaning, it was too cold.
Yeah.
But it was bitter, all the nights to do it, because they wanted to do it through as it's getting light. So we sort of had to stay there until it got light.
Did you notice on the actual video where the sky keeps changing colour? Where they edited it?
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I mean, getting into Headless Cross a little bit, of course, I mean, one of the things that really comes across are the medieval themes, the historical themes and so on. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, where did that come from?
I can. There's a funny story with this. You know, when we was doing When Death Calls, one of the songs, and Cozy's in there playing his drums, and he stopped halfway through. He said, "What's this song called?" He said, "When Death Calls." He said, "I think it needs more death. There's not enough death in it." And so this thing became like, is there enough death in this one? Well, what I'd done was I'd picked up on the medieval lyrics, words and stuff like that, and applied it to the heavy, backing track. And that seemed to work because I couldn't do the Ronnie thing and Geezer's lyrics for Ozzy. That was a different era, and so I didn't think like that. So I had to find something else. And the only way I could think of going was this medieval, Black Death sort of thing. But I think probably a bit much of it, but it was the only way I could think of going with it,
But it was good because he made his own identity, as opposed to coming off what Ozzy and Ronnie had done. It made a path for his own way.
So it was a bit odd at first, and guys were a bit, was there enough death in this? But yeah,
well, it was a new venture altogether, really, wasn't it? I mean,
it was.
So we approached it as that.
Well, I mean, I wondered if we could talk about When Death Calls just a little bit. I mean, tell me about Brian May.
Yeah, great. And he loved it, what we're doing. And we said to him, do you want to play a solo? Well, oh, yeah. Which was really good.
You're good at that, though, inviting people along to be part of things.
And staying on the theme of fans, I wondered if we could talk a little bit about some of the touring that took place around Headless Cross as well, of course. I mean, there's one very unique run of dates in Russia, for instance, which at the time must have been pretty startling.
What have you said?
I haven't said anything. It was
unique, wasn't it?
It really was unique, yeah.
2 shows a day.
Yeah.
Doing matinee shows.
We were playing at the Olympic Stadium, which is big, and we've done 10 nights on it there, I think.
It started off with a 2-hour show, and I think it ended up with 1 hour 5, 10 or something. I can't remember now.
And then we've done 2 at the week. We've done a matinee as well at the weekend. Mad. Unbelievable. They'd shovel everybody out and then bring everybody in again.
I mean, there was a lot happening in Russia at the time, right? I mean, people forget at that point, like literally the Soviet Union had just broken up and Russia had just opened up. And were you at all scared even to go and play in that part of the world?
I was a bit worried.
Eh?
I was a bit worried, but was you scared going to Russia? Was it?
It was a bit. Well, even the guy who was the manager of the Olympic Stadium, they wouldn't allow him in the hotel. It was really funny, wasn't it? The Russians, they wouldn't let their own lot in. And then, of course, you'd have Cozy there doing deals for. He had all his swapping T-shirts for.
They were trading anything, you know, for Aspin's jeans, anything.
We had all these Russian uniforms and belts and bloody caviar tin.
Yeah, beluga caviar.
Cases of caviar. But there was nothing problem. There was nothing to eat properly there. We took out our own catering and trucks, and at the stadium we had a guard on the door. The stuff still went missing. It
was mad.
It was difficult, and of course then the caterers had to go into the market to try and get how many chickens to feed everybody or whatever, and they had to wait in a line to go and get the food, and of course they weren't very popular because they're taking all their food basically.
They were queuing up for anything.
Yeah, anything.
They'd stand in a queue just to find out what was at the front of the queue.
It was really different.
Hats, food, clothes, sort of thing. But I got to say, you probably felt it as well. They looked after us. You know, we were good people, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know, we've done both Russia and Ukraine, and they were fine people. You know, all of them. We got on well with them, really. We drank with them, ate with them.
And we didn't realise we had a KGB bloke carrying around with us.
No.
We thought he was one of the staff.
Yeah.
And a name that keeps coming up, of course, is Cozy as well. You know, I mean, just like what are your recollections? I never had the pleasure, but all I ever hear is just what an energy.
Yeah, he's a lovely bloke, great player, top of his game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Top of his game.
He was
what he did.
Fun as well. Yeah, it was good. It was really good, and he really enjoyed it as well, Cozy, because he'd been about, obviously. You know, you name it, he played with them. But he really did enjoy it, and he really was part of it, and he liked being part of a band as opposed to a paid session person, you know.
But you know what I loved about Cozy as well? He used to write drums for the song. You know, he wasn't just a drummer. If there was any accents or lyrics that were making things change, he would go with it, you know, and he'd write the drums with the song. And that was brilliant, because it sounded grown up and, you know, complete and just fabulous, really.
I've heard he's a bit of a joker as well.
Oh yeah.
Bit of a lad.
He certainly was.
He's not scared of well, he wasn't scared of, you know, getting in the mix, you know, was he?
No.
Stuff that they used to do.
We always played jokes on each other, the whole lot. But that became part of the event, really, didn't it? You know, you'd start doing silly stuff. And
you know, I didn't know you was allowed to do that. You know, because I'm trying to be all serious. It's a lot messing about. It's fabulous.
Yeah, we did a few funny things, but yeah, he was great. He was really good. And good to work with.
Any recollections of those shenanigans or those pranks that you played on each other?
I can tell you a couple. Do you remember you dressed Andy up and sent him on stage?
Oh, God.
They must have planned that for weeks. I don't know how I was not expecting that. Because I'm being all serious. Like I said, I'm like, Mr. Tony Iommi. Out walks Andy. He's got a wig, moustache.
What, my guitar
one of your
tech
jackets.
At the time, because obviously he'd seen how I walk and how all this, and he got it all up to a T, and he wore one of my jackets with a wig on, moustache,
black moustache,
goes out, and I'm playing behind him. I'm playing
behind the stack,
back in, and he's out the front. Nobody sussed it was him first.
No. I just turned around and went, his guitar's on the wrong way round. Then I realised it wasn't you. He's pissing himself laughing at the side of the stage.
Just, you know, stuff like that, really. You just amuse yourself.
I didn't know you could do that. It's brilliant. And to have that, it just lifted everything. You know,
yeah. And that was at the Olympic Stadium. That was in front of all them people.
The crowd must have been, what the hell?
What happened?